Hello and welcome to a numbers edition of Apple a Day. This is the first in a series covering logical functions within Apple numbers. So what are logical functions? Well, they are simply functions that can make decisions based on the data and then change how data can appear as a result of those decisions. And as we dive in, the purpose of these functions will become clear. Today I'll be going over the if function. So let's jump right in. I've got a blank spreadsheet open. I'll just pick a cell in the middle and type the equal sign to bring up the formula editor. I'll type in the word if and then press return, and numbers will display the placeholders for the three parameters required by the if function. The first parameter is the if expression, and this is the value to test to determine if it's true or false. And if it is true, the value in the if true parameter is returned, and if it's false, then of course the value in the if false parameter is returned. So I'm just going to use the value from this cell here, and I'll click on it. Clicking on it will populate the function with that cell. Pressing the tab key moves me to the next parameter, the if true parameter. And like I said, this is the value that will be displayed in this cell if the result of the if expression is true. So in this parameter, I'm just going to enter the word true. And I have to put this in double quotes, which is the shift quote key. I'll press the tab key to move to the next parameter, which is the if false parameter. And again, as I said, this is what will be displayed if the expression is false. And here I'm going to type in not true within double quotes. Then I'll press return and the cell immediately displays not true. Well, that's because a value of 0 in computer programming is false, and false is expressed numerically by 0. Now the cell isn't 0, it's actually blank, and blank being empty is in effect also a value of 0. Any number other than 0 is true. Let's test this. I'll select the cell referenced by the if expression parameter and type in 0, then press return. Not true is displayed. I'll type in 1 and press return, and true is displayed. I'll type in 100 and press return, and again true is displayed. If I select the cell and delete the contents, it displays not true because it's blank, and we're back where we started. Numbers also understands the text equivalent of true and false. So if I type in the word false and press return, Numbers recognizes this as a false value, and not true continues to be displayed. Now I'll type in the word true, and of course Numbers recognizes that, and true is displayed. I wonder if it works for yes or no. Let's try it. I'll type in yes and press return, and we get an alert icon. If I click on that alert icon, it says the if function is expecting a Boolean value, which is either 0 or not 0, or the words true and false. So it doesn't look like yes or no work in this situation. So you might be wondering at this point, how is this useful? If I already have the values and true and false populated in a cell, what does the if function actually offer? Well, let's try some real-world scenarios. Here's a simple table that has 3 columns: amount, taxable, and total. Taxable is a checkbox column, which is just a fancy way to display true and false. If the checkbox is checked, it's true, otherwise false. In the first cell under total, I'll select it and type in equals to bring up the formula editor. Then I'll type in if and press return. In the if expression parameter, I'll select the first cell under taxable. Press tab to go to the if true parameter. So if the taxable value is true, we want to add tax to the amount. I live in Ontario, Canada, and our sales tax is 13%. So I'm going to select the cell containing the amount and then multiply it by 1.13. So after selecting the cell, I'll type in Shift 8 to choose the asterisk, which is the multiplication symbol, and then type 1.13. I'll press tab and go to the if false parameter, and here we're just going to select the cell from the amount column. We don't need to change it, because if there's no tax, we just need to leave the value alone. Pressing return should display 100, which is the value without tax. Now, if I decide that this amount needs tax, all I have to do is turn on this checkbox, making the value true, and then Numbers will recalculate this value, multiplying it by 1.13. I'll click on the checkbox, and it worked. So let's apply this to the rest of the cells in the column. I'll copy the cell with the formula by pressing Command C, and then I'll select the rest of the cells and press Command V to paste the formula. When you do this in Numbers or any spreadsheet, the reference cells are updated to the relative position of the new cell. What that means is the row of the selected cells will match the row that the formula is pasted into. And you can see what I mean if you select the cells and use the arrow keys to move from one cell to the next. And as I do that, you can see that the reference cells, which are highlighted, move to correspond to the selected cell. Now let's add some tax. Clicking on a few of these, you can see that the totals change and our formula is working. Okay, so there's many more ways to use the if function. We've only tested the contents of a cell for true and false, but you can also use what are called comparison operators. These would be operators like greater than, less than, equal to, etc. So in this table, there are a couple of categories, advertising and production, and each category has a handful of expense items and the amount spent. I've also summed the expenses for each category using a simple sum function. So what we want to do is determine if the total spent is over or under the budget. So I'm going to select this cell next to the total spent for advertising, type in the equal sign to bring up the formula editor, type in if and press return, and for the if expression, I'm going to select the cell containing the total value. Then we want to compare this total with the budget value. Let's say the budget is $25,000, so I'll type in greater than $25,000. Pressing tab to move to the if true parameter, I'll type in shift quote over budget and then shift quote again to close the quotes. Then press the tab one more time to go to the if false parameter, and again in quotes, I'll type in within budget. So based on this formula, when I press return, over budget should be displayed. I'll press return right now, and indeed it does. So I'll copy and paste this formula to the production total. It will still be over budget because we're testing against 25,000. Let's change that. I'll double click on it to edit the formula and change 25,000 to 80,000. If I press return, it now says within budget. But of course, this is a bit cumbersome to have to change the values inside the formulas. It would be nice if we had another cell that we could select which contains the budget value. So I'll just delete these formulas and change the heading of this column to budget, and I'll enter in budget values for the two categories, 25,000 and 80,000. Then I'll recreate the formula, but this time instead of typing in 25,000, I'll simply select the 25,000 in the budget column. I'll enter in the same text for true and false, and then press return. Now if I change 25,000 to say 30,000, it will update to within budget. I'll copy and paste this formula to the production category. Okay, so I've mentioned the operators such as greater than and less than and equal to. There's also greater than or equal to, which can be expressed with the greater than symbol followed by the equal sign. Numbers will convert this to the greater than equal to symbol, which you can also type directly using option period. And of course, there's also less than or equal to, which is the less than symbol followed by the equal sign, or a shortcut for that is option comma. So what else can you do with the if function? Well, you can embed other functions inside of it. I'll demonstrate. I'll add another column by pressing option right arrow, and then select a cell and type in the equal sign to once again bring up the formula editor. I'll type in if and press return, and for the if expression, I want to test if a cell is blank or empty, regardless of whether it's formatted for text, numbers, or maybe a date. So I'll enter the function isBlank and press return. This function needs a single parameter, which is the cell to be checked for blankness. I'll pick the cell containing the budget formula and then press tab to move to the if true parameter. And here I'll enter the word empty in double quotes. Then press tab again and enter has stuff for the if false parameter. So if the cell specified by isBlank is indeed blank, it should say empty. Otherwise it will say have stuff. I'll press return and of course it works. If I copy this formula to the cell below it, it should say empty, and that works too. As you can see, the if function is starting to become very useful, especially when they can be used in conjunction with many other functions. And you can also nest if functions. That just means having another if function inside of an if function. I'll demonstrate. I'll clear out the budget functions because I'm going to recreate it with a nested if. I'll create a new formula, type in if and return, select the total, and then type in greater than, then select the budget value and press tab. And here, instead of typing in over budget, I'm going to add another if function. So I'll type in if and return, and once again it displays the parameters for me. And for the expression, I want to select the total cell again, but this time we want to compare it to the budget value plus 10%. So the point here is that we want to display the words over budget, or if it's really over budget, we want to display over budget by more than 10%. So I'm going to enter the greater than symbol and then select the budget value and type in an asterisk for multiplication and then enter 1.1. So that's checking if the total is greater than the budget times 1.1, which is basically adding 10% to that budget value. I'm going to press Tab and type in over budget by 10% in quotes, and that's for the true value. And for the false value, I'm going to enter in simply over budget in quotes. Then I'll press the Tab key again to go to the false value for the first if. Sometimes the parameter can just go away, and if you see that you're stuck without the parameter, like right here, you just type in the comma and then the false value, which again is within budget inside double quotes. So we have the first if function checking a value, and if that value is true, we have the second if function. But if the first value is false, then we display the false value here. And that's a nested if. And you can nest if functions many, many times. I'll press return, and it tells me I'm over budget by 10%. And if I change the budget value to 28,000, it'll update to display over budget. And if I change the value to 30,000, it'll then say under budget. And that's a use case for nested ifs. As you progress in your numbers journey, you'll find that your if functions are going to become a lot more complicated than what I've displayed here. But this is a good starting point, and hopefully this will help you to understand the logic behind how an if function works. Well, that's it for today. My name's John Martins. Please like and subscribe, and join me in the next episode of Apple a Day.